for 3.4.0, which is the Cursed Legacy Update DLC Chapter 14. The features and content feature updated the intro video to the Cursed Legacy trailer, which if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's fantastic. They get their intros better every time. Feature disconnection penalties. Players who disconnect early from games will receive temporary matchmaking bans with the duration escalating for repeat offenders. Please note that this feature will not be active on launch of 3.4.0, meaning today, December 3rd, but we are planning to enable it on Thursday, December 5th, so get your DCs in for the next 2 days. Reintegrated the chat in Survivor pre-lobby and in custom game lobbies, which was really nice. Added cosmetics to player inventory, such as what we just said, Bill's ugly sweater, frosty eyes for Oni and Plague, and the new universal winter holiday charm. Added the new killer Oni, added the new survivor Yui, added the map Sanctum of Wrath, and added a Japanese thematic lobby for Cursed Legacy. Alright, now the boring part. Balance. Rank reset. The rank reset will now reset players back 1 rank crest color. Players who ended the season in the red ranks 1 through 4 will be reset to purple 5. Purple 5 through 8 will be reset to green 9. Green 9 through 12 will be reset to yellow 13. And finally 13 through 16 will be reset to brown 17. So what this means is no more fun on rank reset. That's what that means. Debuff perks no longer appear on the Survivor in-game HUD until the debuff is applied. This is true for the following perks: Chlorophobia, Overwhelming Presence, and Unnerving Presence. So you won't know if they have it until you're affected by it. So Chlorophobia, Healing, Overwhelming, item usage, Unnerving, skill checks. Well, in Terror Radius. Updated several killer perks with the Undetectable status effect. Insidious, Beast of Prey, Dark Devotion, and Tinkerer. Those are the ones that drop the Terror Radius altogether, but now they get the Undetectable, so their auras can no longer be read. Protection hits. This condition for protection hits have been adjusted. To trigger protection hit, a survivor must be in range of a survivor in need, which translates to being close to an injured survivor. Players can now trigger protection hits each 3 seconds instead of 20 seconds. Any hit received by a survivor while the killer is carrying another survivor will count as a protection hit. Yeah, as I said, it used to be 20 seconds. It also used to be global. So every survivor was on this 20-second cooldown. So it couldn't be individual 20-second cooldown. Now it's individual and 3 seconds. So Metal Man might actually be usable or actually used. Deep Wound timer will no longer go down when sprinting or mending. Okay, so if you get hit by... If you have the Deep Wound from Legion, as long as you're running or mending yourself, the timer won't go down. So just keep running forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Deep Wound is no longer connected with the killer's Terror Radius. So you can be running not in the terror Radius and you will never lose your Deep Wound. So that's how they're going to counter the bringing back the old Scumbag Legion. We'll see how it plays out. Legion changes. Mend times for Deep Wound reduced. 12 seconds while mending yourself, 8 seconds while being mended. I believe that was from 20 to 16. Or 20 and 16 from 12 and 8. I don't remember. Attacking while in Feral Frenzy will no longer be a basic attack. This means that perks that trigger with a basic attack will no longer trigger under these circumstances. For those who don't know, that is such as Sloppy Butcher, Save the Best for Last, I think affects it as well, and Franklin's Demise. So those kind of perks are no longer be affected by Legion's M2 or Feral Frenzy basic attack. That's not to say it's not playable anymore. It's just you'll have to actually try harder. Increase Feral Frenzy speed from 5 meters per second to 5.2, which is great. Decrease Feral Frenzy window vault duration from 1.1 second to 0.9, which is more along the lines as the Survivor Vault. Pallet vaults down from 1.35 seconds to 0.9, again, about in line with Survivor Vaults. Mischief List add-on increased added Feral Frenzy duration from 0.8 seconds to 1 second. Sorry, 1 second. Alright. Oh, I just realized I'm in Discord. Let me go ahead and deafen my... Just in case anybody comes in and says things. Mural Sketch add-on decreased added Feral Frenzy duration from 1.6 seconds to 1.5. Okay. So this one increased the duration 0.2 seconds. This one reduced its original duration by 0.1. Stolen Sketchbook, increased added Feral Frenzy duration from 2.4 to 2.5, added a 0.1 second increase. Smiley Face Pin, hitting a survivor highlighted by Killer Instinct applies the blindness status effect for 60 seconds. Okay, that's not bad, even though blindness is pretty useless, even for a minute, but still not terrible. Deface Smiley Pin, hitting a survivor highlighted in the Killer Instinct applies Mangled. Nice, so they get the broken or the floppy or the Mangled status, slows down. The Legion Pin, hitting a survivor while highlighted by Killer Instinct applies Broken. Oh, they just changed the pins. Okay. Filthy Blade, lowered added mend time to 2.5 from 3. Okay, so it saves an entire second to mend. Alright, the good old Spirit changes, the stuff everybody's looking forward to. Remove the collision between Spirit and other players while she is phasing. That's perfect. So she can just phase right through you and she has no idea. Adjusted the speed curve for the Spirit's post-phase speed bonus to drop off more gradually over a longer period of time. So it's not like an abrupt stop. Restored visible third-person animation while vaulting windows, which is fantastic. Now we can actually see when she's vaulting the windows. Her Beads bracelet made phasing sounds global instead of removing them. So it's kind of like Wraith's Wraith's, is it the Cockcomb Clapper? I think that's the, no, that's the one that makes it silent. The Wraith where you can hear the bell from every direction. Katana Suba. Decrease the phasing reappearance duration from 0.25 to 0.2. So reappearance faster. If I'm reading that right. Decrease the phasing reappearance duration. Yeah. Wakasashi Saya. Decrease the phasing reappearance from 0.5 to 0.3. The good old amulet. Increase phasing duration from 1 to 3.5 seconds. Decrease phasing speed from plus 10% to negative 15. That's huge. That's actually huge. Because there was no downside to the amulet. Now there is. White Hair Ribbon, decrease the active charge speed bonus from plus 30 to plus 20. And the Red Hair Brooch add-on, decrease the activation charge speed from plus 50 to plus 30. So those are going to be really good. Hopefully the Spirit won't just be stupid, mindless, dumb, annoying to play against. Balance Landing, perk changes, sorry. Balance Landing no longer grants the stagger reduction while exhausted. Balance Landing has the additional functionality to muffle grunts from falling by 100% while not exhausted. So at least you no longer get the stagger while you're exhausted, but you do muffle the drop grunt from while you are while not exhausted. So that's good. So yeah, Balance Landing is not going to be overly used anymore. People are probably going to go back to Sprint Burst or Head On. Unless they fix the Dead Hard mess up, which I don't see happening. Kindred, when another survivor is on the hook, see the aura of all other survivors and Killer if they are in range. Kindred no longer overrides Killer's stealth abilities. So, the first time I read this, I read it wrong. I thought that's the name of the perk. No, they added this on top of. So now, when you're on the hook and you have Kindred, your teammates see the survivor and the survivors and the Killer if they're in range. Now, when somebody else is on the hook, you see that. So that's going to make it really nice. No One Left Behind. Once an exit gate is open, gain 50, 75, or 100% more blood points for healing and unhooking other survivors. Healing and unhooking others are performed much faster, quicker, 30, 40, 50% quicker, and auras of other survivors are shown. I don't know if that's for once EGC happens, you know, once the exit gate is opened, which is possible, which will allow for super fast unhooks in Killer's faces. And healing. Like, you want an endgame build? Adrenaline, Borrowed Time, No One Left Behind, and we'll make it. There you go. That's to, you know, just, or instead of Adrenaline, just use DS. Kind of prevent the face camps. So that might be cool. I might try that out. Now the good old bug fixes. Killer fixes. Fixed an issue that allowed killers to hit survivors through a hooked survivor. So this is kind of a survivor buff. So now you can hit the people being unhooked again. Unlike before. Fixed an issue that caused killers to perform an obstruction hit when hitting survivors on a hook on dedicated servers. Again, you can hit the survivors now. Fixed an issue that caused the nurse to snap at the beginning and ending of her blink. Fixing this issue required us to rework how snapping of characters interacts with the movement systems and could cause additional side effects. So we'll see how this works. Fixed an issue that caused the nurse's camera to clip through her arm when attacking while looking down. That's funny. Fixed an issue that caused the classic Ghostface Shroud customization to block a large portion of the screen using his power. For those who didn't know, it blocked like this much of his screen. It was gross. Fixed an issue that caused the stalk prompt to be displayed for the Ghostface when first loading into the match. Fixed an issue that caused Hunter's Hatches to go through walls if she hugged the wall. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people knew about that and tried to exploit it. I know people who did, found it out, and then immediately turned it in. Fixed an issue that caused survivors to be misaligned during the Legion's Mori. Yeah, Legion's Mori, Billy's Mori, Trapper's Mori. I don't think the Wraith had an issue. Fixed an issue that caused the Nightmare's Husk to be briefly visible before completing teleporting to a generator. Yeah, I always noticed that. I knew the blood formed, but at some point it would like snap the actual Freddy in and then Freddy would disappear. Added more logs to better help identify an issue that could cause the Plague to get stuck in her vomit stance on dedicated servers. Didn't know that was a thing, and I played a lot of Plague. Fix an issue that caused down survivor auras to be visible to the Plague when using Black Incense. Oh, Wraith had an issue with the Mori as well? Fair. I just never used his Mori, I guess, that often. Okay, so Plague did see people downed with Black Incense. Nice. I'm glad she doesn't anymore. Fix an issue that caused the Hag's Phantasm traps not to have collision when using Scarred Hand. So, you know, we were only not able to use the Scarred Hand for like 2 months. No big deal. Fix an issue that caused Shape's camera to become slanted when canceling the Mori interaction. I actually saw that. It was hilarious. I think we're doing a Kill Your Friends or something. But, yeah, I don't remember what it was, but I got that to happen. It was hilarious. Fixed an issue that caused other survivors' RBTs to briefly appear... reverse bear traps, RBTs, to briefly appear in the air when the Plague placed a reverse bear trap on a survivor. It doesn't say, however, that if you're playing the pig and somebody has a reverse bear trap and that player dies to game over, meaning the trap pops, whenever the pig would then attack with a basic M1, the trap would just start talking and blood would splurt everywhere. It was pretty good. Maybe that fixed it. We'll see. Now map specific fixes. These are always obnoxious. Fix an issue that caused most rock assets in various maps to be lacking hitbox collisions, allowing projectiles and Cannibal's chainsaw not to detect collision. Holy shit, chat. Do you know what that means? It might be fun to play against Huntress again, because now she can't shoot through trees. It might be fun to play against Huntress. We'll see. Fixed an issue that caused hooks to disappear depending on the camera angle. I didn't know that was a thing. Fixed an issue that could cause incorrect lighting in various themes in low and medium quality settings. We already saw that. Fixed an issue that caused players to get stuck behind a jigsaw box or an alarm clock when they spawn next to the lookout building on Mount Ormond Resort. That's oddly specific, but thanks. Fixed an issue that caused the moon to be visible when at the bottom of the staircase in the game map. Fixed an issue that they added a D, an impassable gap between the water tower and the tree in the Ironworks of Misery map. Fixed an issue that caused survivors to clip through the locker when entering the right one in the mine. Suffocation pit. I would have liked to see that. Fix an issue that caused visible ground seam when walking up the basement stairs in the main building of the Groaning Storehouse. Fix an issue that caused a visible ground seam along the edge of the main building in the Groaning Storehouse. Fix an issue that caused an impassable gap between a rock and a crate in the Groaning Storehouse. I did see that. Those were always fun. Fix an issue that caused a floating crow on a maze wall in Shelter Woods map. That was hilarious, and I wish they would have kept it. Fix an issue that prevented killers from lunge attacking on the hay block of the Combine Harvester in the Coldwind maps. Which means, chat, we have our tractor tech back. So a lot of the Coldwind maps are going to be super, super fun. And waste a lot less time. Fixed an issue that allowed players to walk through the wall underneath the slope of the Lodge building in the Blood Lodge. I didn't know that was a thing. Maybe that's how I lost some people in Blood Lodge. Fixed an issue that caused visible ground seams on the gas station building in the Gas Haven map. Or Gas Haven. Yeah. I think, yeah, Haven. Fixed an issue that caused the air hose to be missing from the gas station tile. Okay, so on the PTB, I'm like, oh, great, they fixed the air hose. I didn't even know there was an air hose. So the air hose, if you've ever gone through a dry cleaner or some auto service places, if you drive up, you'll see a little tube on the ground, and when you roll over, it makes a bell noise. I did not realize that's what they were talking about until like a week ago. So that's the air hose. It's the black little tube strip that goes across from the gas station to the from the actual gas pumps to the entrance of the gas station itself. And when you walk over it, it makes that bell noise. So apparently that was missing, and so they added it back. Fixed an issue that caused the cars in the Auto Haven. No, that is Gas Haven. Okay, Auto Haven Wreckers maps to have incorrect textures. Again, I didn't even notice that. Fixed an issue that caused the tarp on the maze walls to clip through the walls in Auto Haven Wreckers. Those were funny. I didn't realize that wasn't part of the thing. I didn't think it was that big of an issue. Fixed an issue that caused flickering textures on the wooden pieces along the inside of the main building in Family Residence. Fixed an issue that caused visible ground seams between multiple tiles in Family Residence. I'm sure everybody has seen that. Fixed an issue that caused the collision to be too high on certain vines in the Rift Lab of the Underground Complex maps. I guess that was for hatchets and other things. I'm not sure. Fixed an issue that allowed the killer to see out the world when hugging a specific wall in Underground Complex map. We definitely saw that. It may have been offline, but I definitely saw that. That was pretty cool. Fixed an issue that caused one of the walls on a T-tile to have flickering textures in the Underground Complex map. Wait, there's T-tiles in Complex? Where? Maybe I know where. Fixed an issue that caused flickering textures on the stone walls in Temple of Purgation. Fixed an issue that caused the red shipping containers in the Badham Preschool map to clip through the grass. Fixed an issue that caused a crow to clip through part of a window of one of the houses in Badham Preschools. Fixed the shadows on the fireplaces in the small houses in Lambkin Lane. Fixed an issue that caused an invisible collision. Oh, sorry, let's go back to the Lambkin Lane one. So totems can spawn inside the houses of Lambkin Lane that have fireplaces, and it's funny because when a totem is lit, it makes the burning noise. And then if you're in the house under the fireplace, it sounds like there's a totem. So you could be looking for a while and not actually find a totem. Fixed an issue that caused an invisible collision in front of the exit gate switch in the Lambkin Lane map. Miscellaneous LOD fixes and improvements. I didn't know though there was an invisible wall in front of exit switches on Lambkin. Or you know. Well, now there's not. Perks. Fixed an issue that caused the visible scratch marks from Fixated to disappear when the Legion used Feral Frenzy. I guess because I never used Fixated, I never noticed that. But yeah, that would kind of be annoying if they're using it to juke killers. Well, Legion specific. Fixed an issue that caused generators affected by Surge to visually remain in the damaged state when the perk triggered while the survivor was actively working on it. Fixed an issue that caused players being healed with Spine Chill equipped to see the progression speed proficiency icon when another survivor healed them. I did see that. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Fixed an issue that caused Dying Light not to disable when the obsession disconnected via cable pull. They're like, no, this light is dying. There is no escape from dying the light. Fixed an issue that caused toolbox auras to appear incorrectly when shown with Plunder's Instinct. Yeah, I noticed that. It was kind of like a hollowed out shell of a wireframe of a toolbox. Miscellaneous. Fixed an issue that could cause a network timeout disconnection from a public or private lobby. That's fantastic. Like, I think those are the unknown error occur, so hopefully we get less and less of those. Fixed an issue that could cause multiple error messages to display when attempting to search for a public lobby after having previously failing to join a lobby that was simultaneously destroyed by the host. Very specific, but thank you. Fixed an issue that caused achievements measured in percentages to reset when the user rebooted the application. Just get the achievement all done at once, forehead. Fixed an issue that caused medkit healing not to count towards the wounded healer achievement. Oh, that's what Jay's issue was. He had the wounded healer and it wasn't going for it because medkits. Fixed an issue that caused the blood dance daily ritual not to gain progress while using a medkit. Same thing. Fixed an issue that caused a fully depleted medkit to give progress to the appeal to heal challenge for all users in the trial if they had it as the active challenge. All right, so when we did that challenge, we noticed that everybody's medkit counted. I guess that wasn't intended. So now everybody's starting in chapter 1. I think it was chapter 1, maybe chapter 2. They'll have to actually use their own medkits. Fixed an issue that allowed multiple daily rituals to be removed from the ritual menu when, well, in an online lobby. Fixed an issue that caused survivor ranks to be visible in the online lobby to other survivors. I don't know what, I mean, I guess that's good that doesn't show because, you know, if you bring in a friend, you're rank 4, they're rank 12, I'm not saying anyone's name, and then another rant and you're only like 2 or 3 people instead of a full team, the rank 2, 3, or 4 comes in, they see the rank 12, they're like, no, fuck this, I'm out. Fixed an issue that prevented players from using the endgame chat if the killer had disconnected. Fixed an issue that caused the None Shall Survive level 1 challenge to complete if a survivor got disconnected during the loading. Oh yeah, that's the one where you have to escape. Or something like that. Oh no, that's the one where you have to kill all 4 in a single trial. That happened to me. And I'm like, alright. I mean, I was going to kill all 4 anyway, but... Fixed an issue that caused the escape survival points not to be awarded to survivors if the killer disconnected by cable pull. Yeah, we had that happen a lot. Fixed an issue that caused no points in the chaser emblem when finding a survivor in a locker. Fixed an issue that could cause a crash when starting in custom game matches as the Hag. Yeah, I think that had to do with her skins. Fixed an issue that could cause an infinite loading screen when leaving the tally screen of a custom game. Good thing we never saw that. Fixed an issue that caused no allowed noise indicator when a survivor failed a healing skill check. Fixed an issue that caused the hook survivor location indicator to be missing from the golden hook VFX. Visual sound effects. Fair enough. And then let's see, we got fixed an issue that could sometimes cause player models to darken in the tally screen. I didn't know that was an issue. I thought that was really cool. Like, oh, you're passing through the fog, out of the trial into the fog. Miscellaneous cosmetic clipping fixes and improvements. All right, audio and localization. Fixed an issue that caused no sound effects when hovering over the tome level completion rewards icon. Honestly, I don't think anybody's going to miss losing out on more sounds in the tome. Fixed an issue that caused the archive's ambient audio to play during the animatics. Fixed an issue that caused the wrong sounds when walking on hills in Goldwyn Farms and Crotus Pren. I guess that could cause an issue if you're just listening for those sounds and all of a sudden it sounds different. You're like, what that? Adjusted the In the Void She Walks achievement description to reflect the proper unlock behavior. Oh, that's the blink grab, I think. Maybe. Fixed an issue that caused an incorrect chat offline host disconnected message when the host of a custom game match returned to the lobby. Miscellaneous localization and translation improvements. UI and HUD. Fixed an issue that caused the invite plus signs on lobby silhouettes to disappear when closing the loadout menu. Oh, I guess that's how that happened. Fixed an issue that caused Rift Fragment XP not to update in the archives widget on the tally screen if there was no active challenge. Fixed an issue that caused the select challenge button prompt to be disabled when returning to the play as killer pre-lobby from the public lobby. Fixed an issue that caused a drop in FPS when changing levels in the tome. That's good. I'm going to check that out, see if that's instant. Fixed an issue that caused tooltips from cosmetics in the free track to overlap the Rift tier progress in the Rift. Fixed an issue that caused the level to reload each time the current archive level was selected. Okay, that's good. Fixed an issue that caused the lobby UI to reposition itself when selecting any subcategory in the loadout. Interesting. Miscellaneous UI improvements. Alright, so hopefully they fixed Oni's add-ons from the PTB. Thanks everybody for watching this. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll do new content and patch notes in the future because of all your guys' support for the first one. I didn't think you guys would like it that much. So thank you guys. Um,